Hello there, folks. Today's video, this is going to be part 2 of this Kenwood KA-3344 vintage amplifier I found in the scrap pile. I have restored somewhat, not all of it, in terms of cleaned all this up and replaced these light bulbs in here that I'm going to show you how to do. First, we're going to remove these screws on the side here, and let me try to hold the camera and do this one-handed. So I just got to remove these two screws here on the side. That there, and that there. Okay, set these aside, and this cover slides up like so. And there's the chassis. You can see here it's they reinforced it here, so it's pretty good, and they reinforced it on the sides. And this mesh is just screwed down in there. So if it ever gets too dusty, you can just unscrew that, so it's not like pressed between two layers of wood. So do give them thumbs up for that, for doing that, for making it a little bit easier to do. And it's reinforced here, here, and there. But the main course, the insides, I'm gonna do a close-up, try to see, let you look around in there. One thing I have to admire is how all of this has been like 100% done by hand. And if you notice, they didn't solder anything either. Oh, besides on the motherboards here, but a lot of the a lot of the connections are like these these pins. Now don't worry, this thing is unplugged, so I can be poking around. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, about the pins. How everything's been poking around, sticking out, and they if you look closely, you can get that to focus. They come on. I don't know if the camera's going to focus on that. They have, you can probably see from here, they've hand wound it on the little pins here. So everything theoretically is 100% easy to replace. The user can do it themselves. But one thing I like here is how they did organize everything right here. It goes to the side. And here's an actual, like a pin board. This is like a bunch of resistors and stuff. And some capacitors. Right there. And check this out. Remember this knob right here? This for the crossover. Look at that. All 100% mechanical. Oh, come on, focus now. There we go. Look at that. Even the resistors and stuff are welded on there. That is pretty nice. And it does come apart with this screw here, and there's another one down there. It's held by this bracket, these two screws in that bracket. But you could tell this is old school here. I don't want to mess with it too much. I don't want that to fall off. Here's another little motherboard here, some resistors and some capacitors. Now here is the actual amplifier board. Come on, focus now. This is the actual amplifier. This is the transistors here, or MOSFETs. I think they're transistors. I would say MOSFETs because there's two of them. There's a NPN and the PNP. So I'm just going to call it MOSFETs, but they're transistors, technically, I guess. I don't know all the details about that. But anyway, and you do got a heat sink. There is a, you got your capacitor here, but there is this potentiometer, I think. Is that a potentiometer? No, that's not. That's actually, that's just a, I don't know, some weird contact board. But, yeah, anyway. So, with that being said, There's some more goodies right there. I think that's the power board here. Right here, what you're looking at, that's the main power board. Maybe, yeah, I think so. And we got all these, I forget what these things are. They're in the FM radios. MPX filter, yeah, or is it yeah, the MPX filters or whatever, or the crossover filter. I don't, I can't remember exactly, but anyway, and here's your normal potentiometers for your sound elimination, your rear, high, low, etc., etc. And if you look down here, there's another, like a little, whoops, a terminal block down there for all of that, and your power connector is also 100. Excuse me, 100% mechanical as well. It's open mechanical. Like if you see these are all closed up, but this one right here, if you look, let me get out the light, is all opened. So it's pretty cool. So you can at least see what's going on, but also it's kind of bad because you see the dust sticking around to stuff, and so that can actually cause buildup. And oh yeah, check this out. Look at that. That's like 4 potentiometers lined up. What is this? This is the this is the volume meter right here. This is the volume level. 4 potentiometers in one. Oh, and there's your other beefy. This is your channel selector. I don't know if you can see that down there, but it's basically like this, but a little bit bigger. Right there. There it goes. But yeah, but you don't see that anymore. Not in any newer audio equipment there. But yeah, wow. All stacked together, nice and neatly too. And I was surprised. I mean, look how neat this is. It's almost like a ribbon cable. I mean, it's pretty nice. And you got your big resistor here. What is that? Oh, here it is. Here's a number on it if you're interested. 4P27, and there's the infinity or the ohms symbol on it, and then 7132. These are all on the lights here. So, but anyway, these lights are, now we're going to go to that. Wait, before we do, did I cover everything? I guess we can do one more pan around. This is the power board right here, actually. It looks like just a bunch of capacitors and resistors. And there is a diode right here. This is a diode. This is a half bridge. It looks like it. Might be a full bridge. It's got 3 pins on it. I don't know if you can see that. It's got 3 pins, and it has the diode symbol in the middle. Focus. There we go. Yeah. So this is probably like a small full wave rectifier. You got your capacitors. You can also tell it's old because the way these capacitors are. And here's your transformer, 120 to 240 volts, 50, 60 hertz. Anyway, so and there's some capacitors on the outputs and stuff there. Anyway, and there's your fuses and everything. But these, if you look closely, they actually are like little slots. They slide out, but you have to be careful because you don't want to move too much, because you don't want these, you don't want to yank it because you don't want the wire to come off of it or whatever. But if you see, this actually pulls out, but you have to use a little, I think that's how I did it. But I know you do have to, you have to remove these 2 screws here and here on this plate. I'll show that here. It's a lot easier because you will see why it's a lot easier. When you lift it, you kind of have to be careful because you lift it up, you lift it out, and voila. And also, there's your little color pieces of color plastics. And as you can see, let me get a little better angle. These are standard incandescent bulbs right here. These two I've replaced. These are good. These are original. All these here. I think those are pretty sure those are original. These I know I replaced because these were the red and orange. These burn out faster because, like as you've seen, they're always on. So they have a shorter life. They're gonna have a shorter life than all these. But basically, they're just little twist and lock. So you kind of press down. I'll try to do this one-handed. So you kind of twist it. Let's see if I can do this without breaking anything. Here, let me set it down. Camera down for a moment for you guys. There we go. So you press it down and turn counterclockwise, and they slide out. There we go. And they just lock in place. They're like a standard car bulb, in which these are. I had to actually pick these up from AutoZone. Funny. I walked in, I was like, I'm looking for this type of bulb. I showed them this 7.5 volts, and they looked at me kind of weird. They're like, what's it for? And I was like, it's for an old amplifier I got. Vintage amplifier, and it takes these weird bulbs. So I looked everywhere else, and nobody else had it. So, you know, look at the auto parts store, and yeah, surprisingly, they had this bulb. It is a manufactured by Stanley. Excuse me, this is 8 volts, 150 milliamps. It's an S82 right there, S82. Oh, come on, focus now. My camera would focus here. But yeah, you saw it there. It was an S82 8 volt bulb. But it has like the little locking pins on the side. But then if you look down in the socket here, it just slides. There's little, little catches. Just you set it down in there and you turn it clockwise to lock it in place. And there you go. I prefer to do it like this. It's easier, so you don't have to pull anything. You don't have to mess with the wires as much. I mean, you do have to push it back, but anyway. So I'm gonna set this down and put this light bulb back in there, if I can. Okay, and it slides off. Okay, since it slid off, this is what I mean. You can just slide these off because it's negative. The negative is on the ground of the chassis. So, yeah. But because of the type of bulb, as you see the head here, it's not going to fit through these the little openings, the slots here, versus these bulbs will. So you're going to have to take this cover off. Like I say, it's only 2 screws. It's not that hard. Now, one thing you will do is you will have to, these are the little plastic pieces, they're like little tiles here. And you're going to have to, see how these fell down, but this one's still standing up, so you're going to have to kind of hold it up and then put that back down. Make sure it's above this little or little dip here. But since this one's got some stuff on, I'm going to go ahead and clean it. We're just going to hold it up. If I can get it back in place for you guys. Okay, as you can see here, they are literally just little color tiles. And they come apart. You got red, orange, yellow, lime green, dark green, and sky blue, I guess. I know I'm putting the camera down, wasting time for you guys. You're like, show us. Okay, let me put this back down. I might actually have to pause. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pause the video for this. Okay, we're back. So what you have to do is you lean it up like this, and then you put that, you make sure the tiles are great, and you just set that back down in there, and then you put the screws in, and that's that simple. But that pretty much concludes this video. But another thing before I go, before I end it, I know I said that I thought it in part 1. This is part 2. I said that when this was probably returned because it was considered broke, and how the back, how the front left and front, the sound mixer was kind of wonky. But I don't think it's actually the amplifier is burned out, because it didn't smell like anything burnt. But also, if it was burned out, uh, none of the channels would really work. I mean, these two right here don't work, so it could be that it's burned out. But I'm still kind of, I think it was having to do with this sound eliminator right here. But yeah, that pretty much concludes this video. Thank you for watching, and leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you like. I'm not forcing you, but I would appreciate it. And leave a dislike if you didn't like the video. And if you have any comments or questions, put them down in the comments below, and I'll try my best to answer your questions. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.